In order for you to understand what I'm about to tell you, I need to go back to 54 years ago. Almost 54 years. I think I was 3 years old when I first had this dream. I have always loved flowers, and I have always loved picking flowers and pretending. I had a huge imagination, and I would pretend that I lived in the secret garden. I would read children's storybooks, and I would hear all of these amazing stories. And in my mind, I wanted to live a storybook life. I absolutely loved flowers and things like that. My mom and dad were very strict, and so I wasn't allowed to pull the flowers and pick them. But every once in a while, at the end of the year, when it was fall, they would let me pick as many flowers as I wanted, and I had so much fun. As a young married woman, money was always tight because we lived on the farm and all the money went towards the farm. Well, then I would go out in the meadows and I would find all kinds of meadow tea, all kinds of wildflowers, and I started creating the home that I wanted. And it was one of those things that I look back on and I think of fondly. I told you many stories about how I would take castaways and thrown away items, and I would use that to create my own home. Being a young married mom, I had 3 children in 3 years. My life was devoted towards my children, so I never really got to fulfill some lifelong dreams that I had. It wasn't until the last year and a half to 2 years that I really have been enjoying the things that I have always wanted to do, and that is what you are seeing in my video today. There are going to be different video clips of highlights of the things that I have been doing here in the month of June and in July. I've really created my home exactly how I want it. It took 54 years, but now I am living out some dreams, having my own little secret garden, and providing beauty through nature. I will forever be a simple kind of girl with simple dreams and simple achievements, but that's what creates happiness in me. The simpler life has become, the happier I have become, and enjoying the things that nature provides. For years, I couldn't afford books. I would go to the library and I would do a lot of reading. I read about how to make herbal wreaths. I read about all kinds of things. And now I can do those things. All of the years of reading in books, I decided to make my life like I read in the book. Instead of wishing and wanting, I decided to actively have in my life what I've always wanted. I will forever and always be an old-fashioned kind of girl. That's how I've always been. And learning these old-fashioned skills brings such happiness in my life. I'm in my element. I bloomed where I was planted. The next series of videos took me 8 weeks in making. I hope you enjoyed the progress of all of this. My goodness, I have a lot of stuff here that I need to work on. And I thought I would just show you a little bit how I make all of my oils. And I use this for soaps and all kinds of salves. My goodness, I barely even have room for my camera. So I really need to work on this project. What I'm doing is I am making all kinds of infused oils, and that is for later on to be making my salves. I only do this once a year, and I really need to get it worked on. So I do the bulk of this once a year. So let's get started. It's really simple and easy. I have all of these herbs already dehydrated. These I just air dried, and they are from the garden, and they are beautiful. So this is the lavender. I'm going to work one by one with these herbs. I want these trays because I'm really going to be doing something, an upgrade with these trays in a future video. So I want to get these trays all emptied and get the oil infused. We take a pint jar. Now you can use almond oil, you can use any kind of oil other than cooking oil. You don't want to use vegetable oil. So if you want to use sunflower oil, you can use almond oil. You can also use olive oil, but you don't want to use like canola oil and things like that. So basically it's just so simple. We're going to take our dried flowers and we're going to put them into a pint jar. Now this is some dried flower I found that I had a while. Now you can use fresh herbs, but sometimes they will mold, and I really don't need to go through all of that again because I had such an issue with them molding. So we're just going to put the herbs in here. All right, so what we are doing is we're putting the dried herbs into the jars. Now I already have some oil that is infused with another herb, so I am going to use this up. It smells really good. If oil is rancid, you will know because it has a very bad scent to it. So when I do mine, I really try to fill the jars up and make a really concentrated oil. The last one I'm working on today is the lemon balm. I will have to this weekend start harvesting the comfrey. So I am trying to pack this as tight as I possibly can because I want a really strong infusion. 8 weeks later, we are ready to strain all of the oil. So I just did this yesterday, and now we're going to go ahead and strain the oil. Now this you can add with beeswax and make salves, lotions, or whatever you wish to add to it. So we have lavender, calendula, we have my sleepy thyme, and that is just different herbs. We have marshmallow. We'll just take a few moments and let it all drain, and then we'll put it in our apothecary bottles. And now we're placing the strong infused oils into the apothecary bottles. That will keep it fresh for about a year. You can keep it fresher longer if you put it into the refrigerator. So now I have all this ready to make salves and lotions for my family and friends. I do a lot of holistic type healing. I don't need any medications. Now I am all for modern medicines, but we don't take any modern medication. As it is important to us to live as healthy life as we possibly can. And so I'm going to go ahead and fill up all these jars, and then we'll make sure we label them. And now I'm set for a year. I do have a couple more things I want to infuse because I do love my homemade sleepy thyme lotion. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a new batch. This will take 8 weeks. I'm using rosehip oil, olive oil. And so there you go, my friends. I am still working on creating the home that I've always wanted. This is my vacation home. This is my home I live in 365 days of the year. I don't need a vacation home because I'm living every single day like vacation, because I'm creating the home that I have always wanted. My dreams may be simple. They may be nothing profound, but they're my dreams, and I decided to make them come true instead of just wishing and wanting. I decided to think outside the box and make my own dreams come true. And I hope that I encouraged you today that you can have the life that you want. Just think outside the box and go for it and find the things that bring you joy. For me, it just happens to be simple dreams that don't really cost a whole lot of money. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.
Iced coffee for 14.
They're brand new.